Warmest greetings to all of the followers and subscribers to the Suffolk Crunch. Couldn't be further away today than from the market town of Ipswich than here in Oliphant's rest camp in the Kruger National Park. My wife and I are here for a week or so celebrating a birthday and an anniversary, and when I mentioned this to Richard yesterday, he says, well, how about a podcast from the Kruger Park? So here we are. The Oliphants River behind me. There's a lot of elephants down there at the minute, and what a beautiful, beautiful day it is today. It's probably about 30 degrees and climbing, so it's going to be a hot one later. Looking forward to taking a drive and seeing what's out there. But more importantly, from an Ipswich point of view, a few things to pick up on. A couple of passings in the week. I think the tributes that I've poured in for Tom, if I'm not mistaken, the Ipswich fan for many decades. I see across all the platforms there's been a lot of love for him and a lot of sharing of tributes for his support of the club over many decades, and his passing certainly a great sadness for the club. Secondly, of course, Trevor Wymark, another dearly departed of 78, that magical era of the town, and bridging that period of the mid-70s into that late 70s, before making way for the class of 81. So yeah, all the very best and condolences to the family and friends of Trevor Wymark. All the very, very best, and a great sadness. Two passings in the week. Did you hear that? That was the elephant in the background there, trumpeting away. So I had thought of to bring things a bit lighter. It's been a tough week for the town. I think that greater realisation as we get on that we are facing the mother of all relegation battles this year. I think that there's been performances during the course of the season which have been reasonable, but we've never seen the peak performance and quality, I think, of the last two seasons repeated, and those costly errors have really managed to debilitate, and I think that's what's stripping the confidence from the supporters, and yeah, it's difficult really to see how. I think the point Rich makes and others is that we will get better, and I get that, but I think by that stage we're in danger, grave danger, by the festive season of being locked into something which is insurmountable. I hope I'm wrong, but I think on a lighter note, we talk when we come to the national parks here in South Africa about the big five being the lion, the leopard, the rhino, the elephant and buffalo. And I thought, well, who would the big five of the season be for Ipswich thus far? And I thought, having a bit of fun with it and trying to break the monotony and sadness that's out there. Yeah, let's start with the five top performers who, in my opinion, are the top five, or the big five rather, of Ipswich Town in this season of 24-25. So I started left back with Leif Davis, who I would suggest is our leopard, a solitary creature who thrives on assaulting down the left-hand flank, and really impressive in the way that he's gone about his business this year. I think the man most likely to play for England, to really push on and achieve things in Champions League football. It's hard to see that Leif won't make that transition. I think he's been seamless, and he may have had one or two fallibilities in the season, but really overall outstanding. So Leif Davis, my leopard, left back. In the middle, and this is no disrespect to him at all, when I describe him as the elephant, I'll be saying Mr. Greaves, Jacob Greaves. And the elephant is an animal that thrives in the pack, and I think he's been exceptional, or rather thrives in the herd. I think he's been exceptional in the way when he has played, he's really marshalled the back line. I think he's been excellent. I think he's been, until his injury, easily the best player, notwithstanding that one disappointment in the Villa game. So yeah, very much solid at the back, and our elephant in the defence, but certainly not in a negative way. At right back, the rhinoceros, the absolute mean machine, who has been lesser spotted in recent weeks, and again drawing parallels to the fate of our rhino population here in Africa. would be Axel Tuanzebe. I think he's been absolutely outstanding in the season starters, and it's been a great shame, and we've really suffered since he's been out of the team, and God knows what went on there. We had an incident with Mark Boucher, wicket-keeper of South Africa, a few years ago, where he basically almost cut his hand off using a biltong slicer, and I have no idea what Axel's done there, but clearly a very serious injury to his hand, and that's kept him out until, well, heaven knows when, months it would seem. So that's, but certainly in terms of performers, Axel, hands down, performer of the season in my book. Then in terms of the Buffalo in the room, it's hard not to think of Liam Delap in terms of his exceptional efforts up front. Clearly courting a lot of interest now and proving that he's up to the standard. So yeah, Liam Delap is the fourth of the big five. And then maybe controversially the fifth of the performers for this year would be Mark Ashton, the Lion. Not a player, but the administrator, who I think has given us a chance, or gave us the best opportunity in terms of the recruitment drive with him and his team behind the scenes during the close season to get us pretty much. I think if you'd asked everyone at the start of the season, are we happy? Some would have said we need another striker, but I think we're seeing that. It's not the striker that's the problem. He brought in Calvin Phillips on loan. He brought in a whole plethora of quality championship players, and the question was always going to be, are they going to be good enough for the Premier? And we're seeing in some instances maybe, and a handful who I'm suggesting might not make the grade. But I think the fact that we spent 100 million gave ourselves the best chance of competing at this league, which suggests everything that you need to know. And I think Mark Ashton is the king of the crop, king of the jungle there in Ipswich. He needs to be acknowledged in terms of what he's done for us. So good luck to the big five. That's my performers of the year so far. And mentioned, of course, for the Lion Cub, the king of the Lion Cubs, Connor Chapman. I thought he was excellent on Saturday and demonstrated so much of what we've been missing over the last season. I think he needs to play a lot more. Made this point in various posts, but I'm hoping that he will go from strength to strength. In the meantime, I hope everybody is in good form. Looking forward to the game against Leicester tomorrow. I've given up on it. It's a game that we cannot lose, must win, all that. I mean, I think we've just got to enjoy the ride, enjoy every game that comes our way, and keep the faith. Remember, these are most of these players are heroes and will be forever, evermore. It's very clear that they're not necessarily the pedigree of the George Burley side that went up in 2000, but perhaps it's also demonstrating that massive shift in the Premier League in that period. It's very clear that we're talking about divisions within divisions, and even within the Championship I think we saw that, and our ability to outplay and to get out of that league first time of asking after, what was it, 17 years prior to that? No, I think we've got to be very realistic about what our journey has been, and the fact that those players, not all of them will leave us if we were to go down. I do think it's a question of when, not if. But some of those guys will stay with us, and I think we'll be able to build something special, and that's probably the longer term positive that I'm taking from all of this, is that we've got a squad of players here which I think will be an upgrade on what we had last year in the Championship, and hopefully we can bounce back better. But I'm just enjoying the games. I'm enjoying seeing these quality of players, and seeing Ipswich perform, not at Huddersfield or Morecambe, but at some real top clubs. And we can take lessons. Brighton, Brentford, Bournemouth. Surely we're in the same canon of football clubs than that going forward. Let's hope so. If we can manage to stay up this season, magic. If not, what a journey it's been so far, and big ups to everybody who's been involved with it. And also the ability to bring social media and the idea of the game to those of us who live so far away. We really get a chance to immerse ourselves in the game before, during and after now, and I think that's been one of the great thrills of being a supporter so far away from town, but so connected with what's going on. And again, to Richard, Suffolk Crunch, Blue Monday, Kings of Anglia, all the other platforms, it's been a real privilege to be part of that, from listen to that, take part where we can, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the game tomorrow, guys.